I'm Gloria. I'm gonna do a presentation about filmmaking for social media. On Instagram and YouTube, I have a YouTube channel about traveling mainly, and it's Travel with Glow. So I have like 11,000 followers, and I've been doing this. Next month will be 3 years, but mainly last year I was focusing on doing like content and videos and photos. So I'm gonna tell you like my experience and how I do like videos and especially for social media. So I divided it in 5 points. The first thing to make a video is to find a topic. So either you have a topic you are interested on, so if you like cooking or like hiking or any other stuff, you can do that because it's easy to access that. You are available, you have everything you need to do that thing, and also you feel more comfortable. You can talk about that like as long as you want. Or if you don't know any topic, you can use keywords. Keywords are these like hashtags on Instagram or like these like Norway Stavanger. So I use this plugin you use in YouTube, and it also shows the keywords, how much volume do they have. And for example, if you just write Stavanger, it's gonna show like a lot of content. So you have to make it narrow. So what to do in Stavanger in winter on a day. So that makes already like a day Stavanger, Norway, winter, and it's more precise to find it rather than saying yes, Stavanger, Norway, which it would be like poor, and it would be. And here also gives you suggestions of things you can see that people are looking for, so you can focus more on something specific. So that's a good way to start. The second point it will be to find a location. So what I usually do is like I go for location scouting, which is when you go around and then you save the places that you think it would be good for a photo, for a video, depending on the mood. I also have some apps that tell you when is the sunset, sunrise, when the light's hitting that place, so you know if it's better to shoot there in the morning, in the afternoon. It also gives you a lot of inspiration, so depending on the place, you also want to either match your outfit with that place or to contrast. So you also like dress accordingly to the location. If you're going hiking, you're not going undressed, for example. And also it's important to check the time of the day. If it's a closed place, you need like opening hour. If it's touristic, you want to check that, not to go on the most touristic time of the day, just go earlier or like later. And always have a plan B, because the weather, because it might be closed, because it might be a lot of people, because that day you don't feel like shooting outside and you're like, no, today I'm staying at home, and you can always have another option. So I'm gonna show you some examples I have done like recently, these last 2 weeks, and this is like a recipe video, kind of like promotional. Like I was working in a restaurant and the chef was nominee for another chef to make a recipe with olives from Spain, and to show that he was in Norway making a recipe with a Spanish ingredient, he also combined it with the crab, to the king crab. So we meet before, we talk about the idea, the ingredients. Oh, and it would be so nice to film it outside. So we decided to film outside last Wednesday when it was the worst storm in Norway, and it was gonna be flooded, and the waves and the rain and everything. So anyway, we went to the harbor and we filmed there, and I found that place before, so I knew like, okay, we'll meet here, we'll do the outside, and then we will go inside in the restaurant. At the end it was nice weather, so no problem. So it's just good to have a plan B if it was too bad weather. So I'm gonna show it to you. Where's the click? No. Oh. Okay, so this was mainly for social media, for Instagram, and it has to be less than a minute, and at the end has to appear these logos and the hashtag. So we talk about it like, okay, let's make a shot outside, like introducing the ingredients. Like it's Norway, then go inside. Let's film like very close up of the ingredients and how fresh they are, like the colorful they are, and I think he really liked it, and it was like very like simple because first of all we talked about it and we knew what to film and what to do. So let's go back. Let's go. So that's the third point. When you are filming, I will really recommend to make a script. It helps a lot. And you have two options when you're filming. Either you do it yourself, so you have everything, but you still want to know what kind of shot you really have to get. Like if you're making like a hiking video, you have to show where are you're walking, you're getting to the summit, the effort, that things has to be there. The rest, okay, you can get other clips around. But so the thing when you're filming alone, you have to get all your equipment like tripod, a remote control is good because sometimes you are far away. The camera, batteries always very important. Microphones, memory cards, chargers. So just get it all in like a small backpack and go outside. Always get ready like something warm to wear, something if you get wet, or those kind of stuff. And if you're working with someone else, just meet with that person ahead and talk about what you want to film, how you want to show it. Like if you want to show it like in a fast way or like more like moving fast or like close up. So it's good to talk. You can bring ideas together and you can like inspire each other, and then you plan it and then you say, okay, this day we meet to do this and that, and it looks like that. So that's helpful. Also for filming, I will say you really have to know what kind of media you're gonna use. If you're gonna use vertical mode for Instagram or like horizontal for other media. Also, if you're filming like at least 30 frames per second, that's like minimum. If you want to do like a slow-mo, you do 60. Always shoot B-roll, which is these clips like join everything together, like showing details and like people around. Also like shoot different shots. I put like a photo of the shot, like this is the photography shots. You can get like wide angle, like close-ups, and also like camera movements you can do, so it gets more interesting to the video and the shot. And also repeat as much as you want. Like when I do my videos, I say things like 10 times until it sounds good and until it sounds like fluent and it has sense. So don't worry if you have to say 10 times something, because you're gonna edit and cut and it's gonna look like you are such a professional. So, and also use like different like lenses and props. For example, if you're doing this hiking video, shoot through the leaves, shoot low, just your feet, shoot the reflection in the water, like try different things. You don't have to have like the best camera, but you have to be original with what you have. That's one of the main things. And I learned that a lot because I was doing the videos myself, like making them and creating them, editing them. So at the end, you're like, okay, how can I do to look that there is movement in the camera when the camera is in the tripod and I have to move? So I'm gonna do this, and then after in post, you can make the camera moves. But at least you have to be original and try something different things. Because of course it's easy when someone is filming you and you just have to be like, oh, yeah, okay, good, great. So with all of these things, I'm gonna show you another video. I think some of you might have seen this. It was a video I made with Leo, and for this I make a script and I told him I want this video, this shot has to be in the library, this shot has to be outside. This is my cover letter video for a job I was applying for Equinor, and I thought instead of saying, hi, I'm Gloria, I'm a creative person, I was gonna make a video showing that I'm creative and I'm active and all these things. So I think that's more original. You don't have to think video just as, hi, I bought these new things in Instagram story. You have to be original for these kind of things because you show us a different. So let's. No, it didn't. I'm not sure if they even like saw it. I hope so, but I have so much fun and I think it was cool.
It was a great experience. I learned loads from it, and I had a great time.
Yeah. And I don't know, it was like November.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so it was like super early and I was like, well, my Norwegian or like everything. Og jeg kommer fra Spania. Jeg en product designer med en master i 3D-design og modellering. Jeg snakker spansk, engelsk, og jeg lærer norsk. I'm worried about today's world's biggest issues, like resources, climate change, and the future of our planet. I have lived in different countries like Czech Republic, Taiwan, and Ecuador, where I volunteer with kids to teach them about the 3 Rs. Learning from their culture, traditions, and people is a great way to get inspiration, to open my perspective, and know how to manage time, unexpected situations, and make choices. I am active, hardworking, and fast learner person, always with a positive attitude, solve problems, come up with ideas, and provide feedback. I'm interested in finding suitable solutions for today's society, understanding the past, but also focusing on the people and environment, providing the tools we need to develop a better community. I really value working in a team because it can provide so many benefits to get to a successful solution. I'm curious and brave to face challenges, to improve myself and the rest of the world. I would really like to work with Equinor to achieve these goals and to make the world a better place together. Check my portfolio and contact me if you have any questions. Gracias, thanks, tack.
Much better than a CV.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it's more like, shows more, I guess.
It's a lot more personal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
So, like my idea for this video was like 1.5 minutes long. Like it has to be this, and show what I'm saying at the same time I'm doing it, like choosing something. And we went to the library and tell these guys like, hi guys, I'm making a video, can I sit with you and pretend to talk with you? And they were like, yeah, sure. And he was filming, so I was like, okay guys, so this is, can you pretend to talk to me? Yeah, okay, we got it, hi, thanks, bye. So you just have to be, one thing that I learned like making videos is like, you don't have to care what people think, and if you really want to get that shot, you like just as the person, like they don't really care at all, and it just makes you do things that you wouldn't do other way. Like many times to shoot a place, like when I was traveling, I have to wake up really early, but then I can enjoy it for myself, and I enjoy doing these videos and photos. So for me, it inspired me to do more things, just by pushing me to make a video and get this shot. So it's really helpful to, you just get open and more like friendly. People always come to you and say, hey, what are you doing? What is this for? Cool, nice. So the fourth part is editing. So once you get all your footage, you have to go through it. So that like when you get like 1 hour long things you shot, it doesn't take 1 hour, usually take 3 hours just to go through because you have to select the best clip and take like, okay, from this part this looks good. So what I use colors and labels, like if this part is outside it's all green, this part is talking it's blue, this part goes like from here to here, so I know how long it is, because like I don't want to make too long the videos, I want like the intro to be 1 minute, this has to be 3 and then this one, so you know how much you have to cut. Another thing is like to keep it depending for the social media you're using, but from 1 minute to 5, more like people don't get that much attention anymore unless it's something you really have to explain and talk more things. Also to find a proper song, what I usually do, I go on YouTube and write like free copyright songs. You can also add like instrumental or hip hop or funky or electronic or chill, and it comes a lot of things, so that's really good, like a good way to find it. I listen to a couple of them and then I download, and what you have to do is like to credit the song, usually with the link in the bio and the description on YouTube, and just to show like the person recognition. But I have no problems, only one video they block me, but it's fine. And then I suggest you to use like different medias, like you can use video and photo and text and voiceover and natural voice in the moment, so it combines and makes it more interesting.
Use colors. How do you do it? It says on point 2, select the best clips and use colors. On the second one.
Yeah, I'll show you a photo after in a second. And then color correction, which means you have to like adjust, like if it's too dark, you make it lighter, and then color grading, which is to add the mood. I make everything more like warm, so it looks like nicer weather, because Norway looks dark, so I like it to get it like sunny and nice.
What do you use?
Yeah, so the software I use is Adobe Premiere. So in this way, this is how my timeline usually looks. Like I drop everything here and I start like cutting and selecting. So I have like colors for like this part. It was like outside, and this is like the song, and this is the different like audios, and the voiceover is in green, and the intro is outside. So these clips are outside, so I can like drag and try different things, and these lines are like blocked, so I cannot see them, but I can just play over and try to do those different things depending on how long I want. And then add like text, like here, and like add you have like all social media or logos or things over, and you just make like layers like Photoshop or any other like software. Here it also usually let you like make the size and things like that, and then just colors, and also like effects, transitions. Also, I would recommend I use transitions. Don't get too crazy, because sometimes it looks like too much like what's going on. It depends on the mood always and what style you want to achieve. And I'm just gonna show this photo. This video is like sometimes you don't really have to plan what you post, because like I went on holidays with Ule, and then we take many pictures. And then everybody in social media are like, oh, this photo is so nice. Yeah, you know how long it took me to take that photo, and like how many photos I took, and how much takes to make the good photo. So I just made this video because we took so many photos. And then people were like, yeah, that's good. And it was like just putting all the photos, like so adding some text and like the song. And it's just like a fun thing you can do. Like you already have the clips. Why not make something more than just post one photo? And then you see, like, oh, I just know your face, and yeah. I did one photo out of 100. So, nice. And then when it comes to posting, I don't know if you, but on Instagram, you have this option in your profile. It's like these 3 bars on top. It says statistics or analytics, I don't know in English how it says, but it says your audience. So it tells how old is your public, where is it from, what is the best time to post, what time is the best, what even like range of hours, like it tells you like 3, 8, like 6, 9, the days. So I will really suggest to look at those things to see what people like. So it's already like for free, so you can just check it out, and to post the thing when it's like more likely like your users are gonna see it, because that's what you want to do. Also, you can create like expectation in your stories. So if you're gonna post a video, just say, hey guys, so later I'm gonna post a video. Or also if you don't have ideas, you can just ask like, oh, do you want to see this or this? And they totally, well, I did that, and sometimes they're like 50-50, so I'm like, okay guys, this is not useful, like thanks for nothing. But at least they give you an idea of what kind of videos people like and what kind of things they are interested on. Because at the end you are created not only for yourself but also for other people to enjoy what you are doing. So also you can show behind the scenes or details, or yeah, this is how it looks like, and like close-ups and like stories. I use it more like personal and more for fun, to show like, yeah, I'm doing this, oh guys, look around. And also when you do a post, it's good that you tag the location. Don't tag, if you're taking photos in Stavanger, don't tag all the photos in Stavanger. You can also do Stavanger Kommune, like not your street, because that's weird, but you're like the region, If it's like the park, that's park. So you can vary, and you also appear in other like posts and other hashtags and other places, so it gets more varied. Also, like you can tag different accounts like brands, if you are using equipment, if you are going to a restaurant, if you are going to Stavanger, like Gamle Stavanger or places like that, like official accounts. And for the hashtag, I would say like from 5 to 20. So usually when you use a hashtag, it says how many like used times it is. So it's like 1,000 times someone used that. So don't use like Insta of the post of the day or like outfit of the day, because there's like a million of that. Do something more specific, more of the, like you can use 5 that you always use, 5 that are under like 1,000, 5 that are under 10,000, and some like 5 that are a bit more general, but they also like gives you like an idea. Don't just post like Norway, yeah, sure, but maybe more like Stavanger Center, like Stavanger City. Try different languages, try Spanish, in English, in Norwegian. So that's more varied. And also, it's really important, like the interactions, like Instagram promotes you more if people comment and you comment back. But not only like commenting like emoji, because that Instagram doesn't see like you are a person. So just comment something like, oh, thanks for liking my picture. I really appreciate it, or something like it is for words, but say something back, because someone take the effort to write to you. So you can go to their profile and like their picture and say like, oh, that person is from Stavanger also, we can meet and do something, you know, like you cannot see people on social media like, yeah, there's like one person there and one person liked it and 1,000 person liked it. So you make an interaction, and I think that's really cool. And I was telling now, Ole, there's like this guy that wrote me on Instagram saying, oh, I went to my favorite band concert and they say hi to me from the States, so I want to make a video for them. This guy, he's in Egypt now, and he told me, can you make a video saying thanks to that band from Gloria from Norway? I'm like, yeah, sure. 10 seconds video. I did like, yeah, but in the cardboard, like, okay, look, this is Norway. And I sent it to him. And he's gonna collect it from different people in the world, and he's gonna post it to say thanks to the band. So even if you are not with people in the same area you can make videos with, you can always like make connections and do it online and provide feedback, and that's really good about social media. There's like people there with also interested about what you do, and you can connect, so you can always make cool things together. So yes, this last one that I did for Instagram, so that's why it's vertical. It was a bit like rush and nice to, it was just walking in Stavanger, in old Stavanger. So it was just like, you can make a video really easy.
Question, yeah. Are you shooting on the camera? Are you shooting all your filming on the phone? I mean on your iPhone?
No, I have a camera. I have two cameras.
You've got a proper camera?
Reference camera. So, but I started making videos with my phone, and they really worked. Like, of course, like some clips or like at night it's not that good, but it's still you have to work with what you have. And sometimes the camera was too heavy to take it around, or like too expensive, or it was raining. And you can always take the phone and film. So yeah, for sure. And
Can you remind me what type of camera you have?
I have a DSLR Canon 700.
700. And
Yeah, I have 2 lenses and also like a small Nikon, and more like for blogging, so it's more like handy. And for example, like last year I went to travel for 3 months in South America, and I was not gonna take the big camera because it was too much like to take around and there, and it was safer. So I take the smaller one, and it worked perfectly. Like it was you can get in the pocket and you can go around and just charge it with the this
Oh, okay.
power bank, yeah. So it's so much easier. And this was more about Instagram, but I mean, if you want to know about YouTube, I mean, it's not much different. They also have these like tags that you can write about what video you're making. So it's kind of works like the keywords and also like the hashtags of Instagram. So that's pretty basic. And of all of this, there's like a million videos of in YouTube, like finding keywords. I don't like to focus too much on that. Like, I mean, if I want to make a video about that, I'm gonna make it. It's not too good to Google too much, like, oh, what is the best name to play that? Oh, there's like a million videos of Stavanger, but yeah, but you shouldn't think, oh, there's already a lot, I shouldn't do one more. I'm gonna do my own one, so it's gonna look different, and I'm gonna show how it's for me. So you don't have to be like limited by what is there.
Is there like a system that you do every time you make a video? There's like a system you go through to make sure that the max amount of people watch your videos?
Yeah, I do. Like I usually post every Sunday at 7 p.m. So, but I don't post every week on YouTube. Now I'm doing like 1 week YouTube, 1 week Instagram, IGTV. So because for YouTube it takes longer sometimes, and I do like shorter for Insta stories, Insta TV. So I usually make like stories like during the week, like I'm gonna do this video, or I post some photos about the topic, so people are getting like, okay, it's gonna be about this one, or I make the poll of like, you want to see this or that, and then they know, okay, for Sunday it's gonna be this video, so people start to know what is like the mode and what's gonna happen. And then now on YouTube you have this option that you can like do as a premiere, so you can watch it with me live and we can talk about it when the video is playing. So that's also a way for people to be like, oh, I want to see it, and we can talk together at the same time. So there's these ways that you can like connect and spread it. And also like, because the thing when you make a video is like doesn't finish when you make the video and you publish it. You have to like promote it and like share it. Like if the brand is there, you have to share it to the brand, or like you have to like spread it, because once you make it, it's like, okay, there's one more there. It doesn't do anything, but you have to do something. Yeah, and also when you have like many videos. Today I was checking one of the most videos I have, like it's one day what to see in my city in Spain, in Soria. And I was like, oh, cool, like I made that video last year, and I was like, okay, yeah, sure, I will make it, nice. And now a lot of people is writing me about like, oh, I'm moving to Soria, what do you recommend me to do? And I was like, oh, sure, like, oh, that's a good. And then you start a conversation and people ask you about things, and I'm like, sure. I mean, you don't expect that things to come back. You are like, okay, I just made a video, it's there. And I get surprised, and there's like people writing me things, and I was like, what? Like you just saw the video, you like it, you want to know more, and that's awesome. So.
Do you work with brands?
Oh, sometimes like it really depends. Like on Instagram, some brands like write me, like for clothes, but it's not what kind of clothes I use, or it's not worthwhile to sell yourself so low, because it's like, yeah, I'm like, that's not who I am, and I'm not doing this in order to get that kind of like attention from that brand, so I'm not like doing that. But for example, from this video, the Stavanger region wrote to me and say, oh, we can collab and do something. I was like, yeah, sure, that's cool. So that could be more interesting than a brand just wrote to me saying, oh, you want to get some free stuff. I'm like, no thanks, like, that's not for me. So it depends.
Do you make money from this?
No, not yet. I hope so, at some point, soon.
That's the plan.
Yeah, totally. I think it's really, for example, for this, like the recipe I made with the chef, and I was working in this restaurant and it's quite new, so I think if you make this kind of video, people will be like, wow, that looks cool, like, oh, and they have even this like experience where you can eat in the counter where the chef is cooking, and that's really unique because you are cooking, seeing the food, the chef is telling you, oh, this is that, and this makes like that, and it's like a story behind. You are not just eating food, you are like experience. So making a video about that could be really interesting to promote the experience, the place, the food. So there's like a lot of ways to use videos to make like money. You don't have to be like an influencer of clothes to sell that. But I think it can be really interesting, like to making your CV online or to make like these videos. Like everybody wants like the wedding video, not like the wedding ceremony, but all in total. So it's like really cool things you can make. So yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Any other things? Thanks.